Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sky and today I'm doing my 2020 beauty favorites video. This is one of my favorite videos to make every single year. I just love talking about my favorite products and these were the standout products in 2020 for me. I feel like this year I've tried out a lot of new makeup, more makeup than I normally would buy, because as we know, it's been a chaotic year, hasn't it? And my spending has reflected that. And this year, all of my favorites are indie makeup as per usual. Y'all know how much I love my indie makeup. I will say that I'm not mentioning any eyeshadow palettes in this video, mainly because I did a separate video talking about all of my favorite palettes of 2020 and ranking them all. So if you are curious knowing about what palettes that were my favorites this year, do check that video out. I cannot speak English, oh my god. But I do have some singles to talk about and I have every other category right here that we can discuss. So yeah, let's get into it. I feel like this video is going to be really long because I like to talk. So let's get started with base products. The main base product that has really been a standout for me this year is the Uoma Beauty Stay Woke Concealer. I'm in the shade Fair Lady T1. You can see on camera that this, as you can see, I am scraping the edges. I actually took the stopper out of this one because this has quickly become my favourite concealer ever. I know I say that about almost every concealer that I've tried, but truly, I love this stuff. It is definitely a matte concealer, but it's not drying at all. It's a little bit thicker and creamier in texture, but it covers up my dark circles, it covers up my spots, it stays all day, it doesn't get cakey, it lasts so well, the shade range is fantastic, and it's from a black-owned indie brand. Need I say more? It is literally the perfect concealer for me. If you have oily skin or normal skin, I think you'd really like this concealer. I will say I don't think people with dry skin will like this that much. I'm not too sure, but I adore this. I'm definitely repurchasing this ASAP. Also, I have this one hair that likes to do that, so I apologise if it starts going a bit crazy. I'm having a weird hair day. Also, I forgot to mention, I don't have products in every single category to talk about because some product categories I just don't have favourites in. I don't have any primer favourites, for an example. But anyways, moving swiftly along for my bronzer favourite, and I have to talk about the Kaleidos Makeup Charisma Contour palette, and I'm in the shade Warm and Medium. I will say, I've said this time and time again, this is not medium. I can wear this and I'm a light skin tone. This ain't medium, sis. I really hope Kaleidos do expand on the shade range because ever since I got this in PR, I have been using it constantly. Every single time I do my makeup, I'm wearing it today, and in pretty much every single one of my videos since I got this collection, I mainly use it for this bronzer shade right here. I'm gonna be honest, I never use the contour shade, and I do like the brightening shade too, but this bronzer shade is absolutely perfect. It's nice and buildable and nicely pigmented, really creamy and soft, and you can blend it in to your skin so nicely. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that because my lighting is very washed out, but it is buildable so you can make it more intense if you'd like. I really recommend these bronzer palettes, these little contour palettes. They are absolutely fantastic. I love the packaging. I gave the lightest one and the deepest one away to a couple of family members. So yeah, I highly rate this. If you're looking for an indie bronzer, highly recommend. Moving on to blushes. Now this year has been the year of blush for me, I'm gonna be quite honest. I used to never be super into blush, but then this year, things happened, as you can tell. If you look at my cheeks right now. My number one favourite blush formula here, if I had to recommend you to get one blush formula, I'd have to recommend the Lethal blushes. As you can see, it's quite fingerprinty and all that stuff. I use it a lot. You can buy these blushes as singles. They don't come in a compact, they just come in a single pan, but I created this little mini custom palette right here and I have the shades Neophyte, Tendril, and Nectar. As you can see, Nectar is very beat up. You don't have to go in with a heavy hand with these. I was a bit of a makeup monster and I'm a little bit aggressive with my brush. Don't be aggressive or you're gonna do this to your blush. It has a massive dent in it, but that's purely because I was a bit of a heathen when using it. But these blushes are absolutely beautiful, very pigmented, very blendable. How else do I say? They are matte, but they don't look flat on your cheeks. They give you a nice, like, healthy look to your face. That's what, I don't know what this hand motion is. I apologize, that was very weird. They have a ton of different shades suitable for all skin tones, and I love that. I love how unique and different the blushes they came out with are. If I had to recommend just one shade, I'd have to say the shade Neophyte right here. I'm wearing it on my cheeks today. It is the most beautiful yellow blush I've ever seen. Truly, yellow blush is so underrated. It is such a beautiful way to make you look more bronzed and more sun-kissed, especially if you're wearing like neutrals or like some yellows. It just works so well, especially if you have a neutral to yellow undertone or even an olive undertone. Nectar is a perfect peachy neutral blush. Like, this is absolutely gorgeous. I love these blushes so much. If you're looking for some matte blushes, I have to recommend Lethal. And actually, Lethal did repost me on their Instagram page with me wearing these blushes. I have never been reposted by a brand before, and safe to say I screamed. I freaked out when they reposted me. Truly, I know I've gone on about it for quite a long time, but truly, like, the fact that I love Lethal so much and that's me on their page is mind-blowing to me. Now, if you're more into glowy blushes, I highly recommend the Odens Eye Flower blushes. They have 3 shades, or 4 shades I believe. I have the shade Little Jasmine right here, and it is such a beautiful medium-toned kind of terracotta, peachy, but also kind of mauvey colour. It's a very good neutral blush, and it can work with pretty much cool tones and warm tones. It's incredible. These are really pigmented, again, very blendable, but really glowy on your cheeks, really fun. I love this blush formula so much. I'm tempted to get some of their matte ones as well, and these last so well. I know you can see Molly right there. Molly! Now, if you're into cream blushes, a cream blush formula that I've absolutely fallen head over heels in love with are the Fenty Beauty cream blushes. These are beautiful. I have the shades Daiquiri Dip and Strawberry Drip. These look really messy, I do apologize, but Strawberry Drip is a beautiful, like, bright strawberry colour, and Daiquiri Dip is probably my favourite of the two. It's just a bright red. These work so beautifully over powdered skin. I have oily skin, so I always use a shitload of powder, but these work really well on top of powdered skin, which makes them even more versatile for me. A lot of the times I don't reach for cream blushes because they don't last well on my cheeks and you have to put them on before powder, and to be honest, a lot of the time I forget to do that. I forget to put on blush before my powder because it's not normally a step that I do, but these layer well beautifully on top of powder. They last all day on me. They are so pigmented as well, but you can sheer them out really nicely. They're not as intimidating in the pan. I highly recommend these. I know they have some more neutral shades, and they're really good. If you're not looking for something super bright and you'd rather get something a bit more toned down, they do have neutral options. I also like that on the packaging, the sticker on the back correlates to the colour on the inside, which is incredibly helpful. I really do appreciate this packaging as well. They are very small, I must admit, but it takes a long time to go through blushes, especially creams, at least for me, so I don't mind the smaller size. Now let's talk about highlighters. All of these highlighters are from the same brand, and say it with me, if you watch my channel or follow me on Instagram, you already know, you know what it is. The Kaleidos Space Age highlighters. I know. I love them a lot. I was sent the entire collection in PR except for the Prophecy one, so this one I did purchase with my own money, but I was sent these 3, and I'm bringing out these 4 because these are my 4 favourites, although I have to give an honourable mention to Solar Sailor right here. It's what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. Absolutely stunning, sunshine in a highlighter. Fantastic. But these ones are my top 4, and let me just run through them really quickly. The first one being Skywalker. This is your classic glittery blue reflective highlighter. As we can see, I've hit pan in mine. I love this. This is my favourite highlighter in my collection. I just love sparkly blue highlights. That's just me in a highlighter. This is really me. And yes, it's called Skywalker. It's basically my name. The other 3 were ones that actually launched this year. The first one being the OG Mars Melter. I know that they did reformulate Mars Melter, so I don't know if this one is still available. I think you can still buy it as the OG version, but this one is the most beautiful duochrome pinky red highlighter. I know that they have a pinky, you can't see that at all. They already have a duochrome pink highlighter in their collection called Comet Catcher. However, this is my least favorite of the bunch. Like, it's just not bright at all, and it barely shows up on my cheeks and gets hard pan. That is the one highlighter from this collection that I don't recommend. But the OG Mars Melter is so good, so unique and pretty, especially if you wear red blush. It's stunning. But anyway, the next one is Diamond Dasher. This one is the most beautiful peachy gold duochrome, and it's really sparkly. It's one of the sparklier formulas from Kaleidos. This is one of the more neutral options, so if you want a peachy gold duochrome highlighter, this is the best one. It's the best one. And finally, we have the Prophecy highlighter. I'm actually going to do a look where I use this both on my eyes and my cheeks, and this one has the updated packaging from Kaleidos. As you can see, the inside is metallicized? I don't know. And this is the famous multi-chrome highlighter. It shifts from peach to green to gold to blue. It's just beautiful. I'm not going to be able to capture it on camera. I do apologize, that was quite wild. But this is absolutely stunning. This is the most unique highlighter I've ever seen, just in general. I am so in love with this one. I know this one is more expensive. I did buy this one on sale, but it's really worth it. It is truly pure magic on your cheeks. Now we're moving on to eyes. I'm really glad that I didn't talk about eyeshadow palettes in this video because my gosh, I am talking for so long. Let's first talk about some loose pigments. Now, I'm not normally a loose pigment type person. They're just not my thing. They have to be something really special for me to reach for a loose pigment. And I found them. These are from the indie brand The Pastel Roses UK, and oh my gosh, I love them. These are their flaky loose pigments. These two are their chameleon loose pigments, and this one is the opal chameleon loose pigment, I believe. I have the shades Andromeda, Orion, and Pony. I wore Pony in this look right here, all over my lid. These are the most beautiful flaky pigments I've ever seen. They have so many different colours, they last so well on my eyes, they don't irritate my eyes at all because they are flaked pigments, they're not like plastic glitters or plastic flakes or anything like that. They're very reasonably priced, they're local to me in the UK as well, which is fantastic. I don't really find many indie brands based in the UK, but these ones are truly it. I highly recommend their flaky pigments. They have a lot of different, they have pressed eyeshadows, they have loose eyeshadows as well, but their flaky eyeshadows is where it's at. They are fantastic. Continuing on with the eyeshadow theme, I'm going to be sharing my special palette. This right here houses both my Devinah Sugar Drops shadows and my Clionadh shadows, and I'm going to be talking about both today. As you can see, the Sugar Drops shadows are my favourite shadows in my collection. I have hit pan in 3, I'm close to hitting pan in 2 more. These truly are the most beautiful, flaky, kind of loosely pressed iridescent shadows that are duochromy as well. I'm actually wearing the shade Gumbles on my lid today, and I layered it over the yellow shadow that I've placed, and it is just pure magic. You can use these shades as eyeshadow toppers, you can use them as inner corner highlights. They are truly the most universal eyeshadows I have ever found, and I love them so much. I love that they are flaky as well. It shows off even more sparkle. They are super high shine. If you're new to buying single shadows and you don't know where to start, I highly recommend the Devinah Sugar Drops because they are seriously so universal. You'll get a ton of use out of them, and they are just fantastic. I mean, clearly I love them. I've hit pan in 3. And now let's talk about my beautiful Clionadh shadows right here. I purchased these shadows for my 19th birthday this year, and they arrived a few months ago. Truly, the hype around Clionadh is so real. These shadows are so unique and gorgeous. The textures are so beautiful, super high shine. This one right here is one of their jeweled multi-chromes, which are absolutely stunning. My favourite shade in the bunch is definitely the shade Glazed right here. It is a purpley lavender with a gold duochrome to it. It is absolutely gorgeous. If you're wanting to find some super sparkly shadows, I highly recommend Devinah and Clionadh. They are the number one. They are the number one I'd recommend. Okay, let's talk about eyeliners. I'm kind of out of breath. The first one being the Lethal Gel eyeliners. I only have them in one shade, and I have the shade Analog, and I'm wearing it in my waterline today. These are so creamy. They do dry out over time a little bit, but thankfully I keep mine really tightly closed, so thankfully it hasn't dried out too much. It's still creamy and easy to work with in the waterline. You can use this as an eyeshadow base or as winged liner. These do not move. You put them on and they set down, they will not move from your waterline. And I'm a crier. I cry. I'm not ashamed of it. I cry a lot, and these do not move. Even when I have a big weeping baby session, these do not move. There's so many different colours. I will be buying more, but this one is definitely my favourite of the bunch, which is Analog. It is the most beautiful, like, periwinkle sky blue. It is essentially a dupe of the Colourpop Prance liner, so if you want to find a dupe of that, this one right here from Lethal. Fantastic. Now this year the main eyeliners that I have been using in almost all of my looks are right here. I'm gonna try and hold them so they don't fall out. Right here, my wet liners. If you don't know what cake liners, wet liners are like, they're essentially a dry cake, and you put some water in the cap and you use them essentially like watercolors. Like, this is dry. This is dry. You use them like watercolors and they truly opened up so much room for creativity. I have created some of the most beautiful looks, in my personal opinion, looks that I'm so proud of using these liners. You don't even have to use them to draw on your face. You can just use them as regular eyeliners to do graphic liner, or just a simple wing, or just anything you want. They are truly the best. The big ones that I have on the top are from Suva Beauty, but the ones I recommend the most are the bottom ones, which are from Glisten Cosmetics. I will mention Glisten Cosmetics in my indie brands that you need to try video, because they sell wet liners both in the big sizes and the small sizes, which I do really like, because it will take a long time for you to get through one of these eyeliners. Just for size comparison, this is the Glisten 3 gram and this is the Suva 10 gram. Glisten also sells 10 gram options, but you can see significantly smaller, but these take a long time to get through, so I prefer the smaller size. And they have literally every single colour under the rainbow. Every single one, and they do have bundle deals as well, so I highly recommend Glisten Cosmetics if you're looking for some good wet liners. They are by far my favourite. Now let's talk lashes. I recently this year got into wearing false lashes, and even though I don't wear them in every single look, I do wear them fairly often, and so far my favourites are from the brand Wiki Lashes. They are another indie brand based in the UK, and my friend Natalia from Another Day Another Pan introduced me to them, and she actually sent me this pair right here, which is one of her favourites, and it's my favourite as well. This is the pair Live. I'm wearing them in this look right here. So beautiful. They're really easy to apply. Really nice lash band. They do have a black lash band, which isn't always my favourite, if I'm gonna be quite honest, but I'm still quite a lash noob. I also love the style November. These ones are really spiky, but also really fluffy, and this pair right here are incredibly dramatic. These ones are the style Ellie, and they are huge. Like, these are huge. I've been so into wearing false lashes this year. They really truly elevate certain looks, and I love them so much. I've been super into them recently. I don't know what happened with my voice just there. And naturally with lashes you need a lash glue, and my personal favourite lash glue, it's the only one that I've tried, but honestly I don't think I'd ever stray away from this one. This is the House of Lashes lash glue. As you can see, I'm kind of making some progress on this one. This lash glue dries down pretty fast, so you do have to work with it a little bit quickly, but once your lashes are on, they stay on if you apply them well, but they stay on with this lash glue. And also this lash glue dries clear. I don't really like the idea of black lash glue because, I'm gonna be honest, I bonk my eyelid a little bit. I bonk it, and I don't want to get black lash glue all over my pretty eyeshadow that I spent so long blending. So yeah, I really highly recommend the House of Lashes clear lash glue. This works fantastically, and I don't see why I should try anything else. It's also latex free as well, which is very important, because I think I have a sensitivity to latex. I think I do. I should probably go to a doctor to check that out, but I do appreciate that it's latex free. But let's talk about lip options right here. I feel like none of these are surprising to y'all if you watch my channel. I mean, say it with me. Say it with me. The Odens Eye Cream lip stains. I have the shades Water Lily and Little Jasmine. Little Jasmine is my favourite lipstick of all time. It is truly my number one my number one. This formula is kind of like a thicker, more pigmented gloss. Like, this is basically a liquefied lipstick, but in a gloss format. It's hard to explain, but these are super comfortable on the lips, really hydrating, and they last really well considering they are a gloss formula. They have a similar texture to the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs, except these are a little bit more creamier and thicker, which I really do like, and I cannot get enough of these. They make your lips look absolutely gorgeous, and I highly recommend. I do want to get more shades, but Little Jasmine, if I had to recommend one shade, Little Jasmine. And speaking of Odens Eye, I also really love their matte lip stains too. I'm actually wearing Apricot Girl on my lips right now, but I also really like wearing these blotted on as well. I'm wearing the shade Perfect Plum blotted on in this look right here, and it just looks beautiful. These are the type of liquid lipsticks that dry down completely matte and kind of that powdery matte finish where you don't feel it on your lips. Like, I cannot tell that I'm wearing a lipstick right now. For me, these ones aren't super drying. I know a lot of people find liquid lipsticks drying though. My lips can handle pretty much anything, so take that with what you will. But these last super well. They last through eating. They are fantastic. I really love the shade Perfect Plum especially. Like, I didn't realize how much I would love this plum lipstick until I got it, and I use it all the time. But if you want a more blotted lip look, just put these on the center of your lips and just pat it out with your finger, and it does a beautiful, beautiful effect on your lips. I'm actually wearing this shade blotted on in my look right here. It's the look that I'm wearing today, but I just applied this lipstick in full opacity just so I could show you guys what it looks like fully opaque. It's so nice. If you've never tried blotting your liquid lipsticks before, I highly recommend it. It is a really good way to get more use out of your liquid lipsticks. Now for bullet lipsticks, I have fallen head over heels in love with the Lethal Bullet Lipstick formula. This is in the shade Quest, and again, the sticker on the bottom indicates the color. I love that. The packaging is magnetized. It is so satisfying, and this color is the most beautiful squash, like warm mustardy brown lip. It is so pretty. These aren't dry at all, but I find because they are so creamy, they don't last super long on the lips, but I really don't mind that at all. Personally, especially right now, we're wearing masks, so it doesn't really matter. But this bullet lipstick formula is fantastic. I do want to get more shades, but Quest is such a unique color. Like, I'm in love. I'm in love. Especially if you love wearing grungy, warm colors, this lipstick is your best friend. And this lipstick also pairs really nicely with the Neophyte blush as well. I've done many looks where I use the yellow blush and this lipstick. Match made in heaven. And the last product I'm going to be mentioning, I am so tired right now. The last products I'm going to be mentioning are the Kaleidos glosses. These are their lucid lip glosses, and I have the shades Hypnotize and Dramatize. They look a little bit similar in the tube, but Hypnotize is a bit more cool-toned berry with a blue and gold sheen in it, and Dramatize is more of like a strawberry colour with a pink and gold sheen in it. These were both sent to me in PR with their recent collections this year, but I'm definitely going to be purchasing the other shades. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. This lip formula is really thin, really comfortable in the lips. They almost feel like a lip oil, essentially, and they have a nice amount of pigment where you could wear them by themselves, or you could layer them on top of lipsticks really nicely. My favourite combo, actually, is wearing the shade Hypnotize with the Odens Eye Perfect Plum matte lip stain. These two are a perfect match. They complement each other so beautifully. And actually, I could probably wear Dramatize over this lip colour that I have on right now. I might actually do that. Oh, that is so pretty. It just complements this colour so nicely. And these are really hydrating. Again, they are thinner, so they don't last super long on the lips, but sometimes you just don't feel like wearing a thicker gloss. Sometimes it's nice to have something a bit more thin. Initially, when I was using them, I wasn't the biggest fan of them because I was like, I prefer my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs, and while I still do prefer my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs, these are fantastic glosses. And I mean, I've been really into trying different gloss formulas, and they are really good. They are really solid. I highly recommend them. And with that being said, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this was a longer one, but I hope y'all enjoyed hearing my 2020 beauty favorites for the year. Let me know what are some of your beauty favorites of 2020. I would love to know, even though I clearly don't need to buy any more makeup, but I love hearing other people's favourites. These are my favourite videos to watch. Full details of this makeup look should already be on Instagram, which is beautyybyskye right here. Do follow me on there if you want to see more makeup content from me. You can also follow me on my other social media. I have a personal Instagram, I livestream on Twitch sometimes, and my Twitter are all linked down below, along with my Ko-fi page. Yeah, I made a Ko-fi page, so if you'd like to support me even further on my channel and the content that I make, check out my Ko-fi. You don't have to donate if you do not want to, but it's there, it's there. It's an option. That was a very recent development, so I'm a little bit awkward with trying to incorporate it into my outro. But anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, I would love to have you here. And as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye!